Warning: the following context may include scary sequences of light horror and many thrills. Some gruesome descriptions involving children may be present in some chapters. Some material may be unsettling to certain audiences. But don't worry, everything will be okay. Probably. Chapter 2: The Apple Tree. The ride home was short but squished. The truck doesn't have any back seats, so we all cram into the front. Grandmother in the driver's seat, Danny in the middle, me in the passenger seat with Martha spread across me and Danny. Although the wind is cold, the windows remain down, allowing for the rocks and dust from the road to fly up into our faces. Martha makes funny faces as she continually spits pieces of dirt out. "Could you not spit on me?" I ask, giggling at her face. "Easy for you to say. My head is blocking the dirt from entering your mouth." She ducks her head down. She wasn't wrong. All the kinds of dust flies right up into my face. Okay, ew, I say, still laughing. "Just roll up the window," Danny suggests. "It's broken," Grandmother responds. "It's been that way since '84. "Oh," was all Danny got out before a dust cloud got him too. Martha and I burst up laughing at him now. Poor guy, he's been friends with us since the 4th grade. We've already put him through it. It's honestly impressive how much he can tolerate from us. The truck reaches the farmhouse and we all pile out. "Don't step on any of my chickens now, you hear?" Grandmother tells us, and we all dodge the countless chickens in the yard. "Now let's unload the truck and we'll get going on setting up for tonight." We do as we're told and bring the groceries inside. Afterwards, Grandfather puts us to work. We rake the leaves, feed the cows and donkeys, wash the mud off the picnic tables and set them up with pretty tablecloths. "You kids go ahead and grab some old ice cream buckets from inside the pantry and go pick some apples for the caramel apples tonight, okay?" Grandfather tells us. "Pick some good, juicy ones." "Sounds good," Martha says with a skip in her step. "I'll find the biggest one." Grandfather chuckles, appreciative of her enthusiasm. Danny, Martha, and I collect into the pantry and grab some buckets. The pantry is wooden, like the rest of the old farmhouse, and it's stocked top to bottom with canned beans, pickles, fruits, tomatoes, and much more. In the bottom shelf corner sits the old ice cream buckets covered by the broom and dustpan. "We should probably wash them out quick," I suggest, so we head to the kitchen, which is mostly clean. I take a couple of dirty bowls out of the sink and rinse the buckets. Martha fidgets with some flowers that sit in the vase in the center of the table. "There," she chimes, "much better." Glancing at the vase, I'd have to agree with her. The flowers do look better. "So what time is opening night?" Martha asks. "The farm opens at 5, Grandfather replies as his boots stomp into the kitchen, a bucket full of squashes in one hand and a jug of apple cider in the other. He sets both down on a chair. "Are you kids excited for tonight?" "Of course we are," Danny responds with a big smile. "We've always loved the Halloween farm week. There's not much in town to do, so to have something fun to look forward to is always nice. Plus donuts," Martha adds. "And you guys make the best apple cider in town." Grandfather smiles. "We do, don't we?" We all nod. "All right, well, I'm going to get to washing up these squash. You kids go pick some apples." He empties the bucket into the sink and begins scrubbing. On our way to the apple orchard, which is really just 5 trees, we see Grandmother starting up the tractor for the corn maze. She seems to be struggling. Danny runs over to help her. He is handy when it comes to machinery. He's got a good gift for it. Martha and I walk over to see what the trouble is, and Danny is already tinkering away. "What's the problem, Grandmother?" I ask her, having not a single clue of how tractors work. She takes off her sun hat and wipes the sweat away with the back of her arm. "Well, dear, I'm not sure, but it's not starting." "But we need the corn maze," Martha sighs. "It's the best part of the night." Grandmother pats her on the shoulder. "I know. I love setting up the scarecrows and the ghosts in the field." "How come the maze only ever goes into the front of the cornfield? It would be a lot cooler and scarier if it went way out into the field, Martha says, pointing to what appears to be our never-ending property. Now that she mentions it, we never have made the maze past the old barn. Safety hazard, Grandmother says with a shrug. We figure that if the maze goes too far, it might be trickier to know if the kids are still out there when we close. I guess that makes sense, Martha and I say in sync. Danny crawls out from under the tractor. Should be ready to go. I can mow the maze this year if you'd like. I'm sure you've got more important things to do before we open. Martha and I don't say a word, but we both know he really just wants to drive the tractor. No, that's very kind, but I'll stick to doing it myself, Grandmother tells him. Now go on and go pick some apples. With bummed shoulders, Danny joins us, and we go to the apple trees. The wind lightly tosses the leaves back and forth on the branches, while the smell of homemade squash soup and bean chili begins to brew from inside the kitchen. The sun peers through the scattered clouds, casting shadows on the grassy hill as we walk to the orchard. Danny nearly slips into a mud puddle, but Martha grabs his collar and pulls him back just in time. Careful, she hollers. If you fell, the mud would have splashed all over my new skirt. Danny pauses right before thanking her, deciding to walk away instead. Oh no, your poor skirt, I tease. I do like it, by the way. Where is it from? Betty's. She perks up at the compliment. Bought it yesterday for opening night. Only cost $3. Betty's is the thrift store downtown, owned by Betty, obviously. I smile in approval. Further down the hill, Danny is already to the trees, waving for us to move faster. There is one ladder, old and probably unstable. Who wants the ladder? I ask the two of them. Glancing at the ladder, they both make hesitant faces. That thing looks ancient, Martha says, pursing her lips together, and Danny agrees. It'll do, I shrug, scratching my head, not even convinced myself. Until it doesn't, Martha states wearily, picking up her bucket and heading to a cluster of lower branches. Danny, being roughly 4 inches taller than both of us, heads for the middle branches. Okay, fine, I guess I'll take the ladder, I say and attempt to prop it up against a tree. The ladder squeaks and creaks with each step, but it appears to be staying in one place. The apples are perfectly ripe, red and green and sweet to my nose. Although the wind is stronger up here, I don't mind the feeling it brings, freeing and chilly. I collect as many as I can reach before heading back down. Reaching for the last apple, I notice something in the distance. A blurry figure appears to be peeking out from the corn stalks, far out in the field. I squint my eyes, attempting to block out the wind. The figure is tall and lengthy, black but nearly translucent, though I know that's not possible. Hello? I call out, but it's no use in this wind. Hello? Martha yells back at me from the ground. You good? Startled by her response, I nearly slip off the ladder. Oh, yeah, I respond, looking back to see the mysterious figure, but it's gone. Sorry, I thought I saw someone or something out in the far left side of the field. I hold tight to the bucket and carefully climb down. Ooh, what did they, or it, look like? Martha jumps in excitement. Was it tall with a black cloak and fangs, or white and floating? Or was it a zombie? Oh gosh, I hope it's not a zombie. Or an alien? Both might eat your brains, though. I roll my eyes at her humorous imagination. You read too many supernatural fiction, I giggle, and that may be true, but I wasn't sure what I saw, and I know I saw something. Chapter 3. I don't believe in ghosts. Tune in tomorrow.